This video will help you to prepare for the VPT English Multiple Choice section. Continue watching to see sample questions and see if you're ready. You can also click on the link in the description to take the practice VPT. The content of the VPT English Multiple Choice test contains 40 multiple choice questions. These questions are adaptive. This means that the answer to one question will determine the next question you see on the screen. You will only see one question at a time, and you will not be allowed to go back and change an answer. Many of the questions will be accompanied by a reading passage. The reading will appear on the left side and the question will appear on the right. Let's look at some strategies for dealing with multiple choice-based reading questions. First, scan the reading for some basic information. For example, is there a title? If so, what does that tell you about the reading? Does the source of the reading tell you anything about the information? Second, it is important to read the question before you begin so you know what information you should be paying special attention to while reading. Common reading questions you may encounter on these types of questions: 1. Find the main idea. 2. Recognize the organizational pattern of the text. 3. Identify the audience or purpose of the text. 4. Identify the tone of the text. 5. Recognize the meaning of words in context. 6. Use information in the text to make an inference. And 7. Paraphrase information from the passage. Here is a sample passage and sample questions. A pervasive historicity of outlook also distinguished Christianity from its Indian contemporaries. Christians regarded the creation, incarnation, and last judgment as unique events which gave meaning and hope to ordinary terrestrial life. Against this historical time-bound view, Buddhists and Hindus set a cosmological vision of innumerable worlds endlessly repeating a cyclical process of creation and destruction. Divine incarnations multiplied, becoming in fact infinite in number so that no single divine event could have the unique significance for Hindus or Buddhists that Christians assigned to the coming of Christ. Finally, religions like Christianity and Mahayana Buddhism may be distinguished from numerous competing forms of worship by their emphasis upon ethics. Devotees of Serapis and Isis, for example, and of certain Hindu cults were not expected to change usual mode of life very significantly in order to qualify for salvation. Magical rites sufficed. But Buddhism and Christianity associated eternal salvation with an ethical code to be aspired after in this world and attained perfectly in the next. This ethical aspiration, together with effective ecclesiastical organizations, gave these two faiths a much firmer hold on their followers' daily lives than any merely ritualistic religion could have possibly achieved. Here is a sample question based on the reading. See if you can figure out their correct answer. In this first example, you are being asked to read 2 paragraphs from a history book. The question asks you to determine the author's purpose and the organizational pattern that the author is using. One strategy that can help you in reading the passage is to skim the beginnings to the endings of each paragraph and identify the topic sentences of the paragraphs, and also look for the author's transitional words. The best answer to the first question is B, compare and contrast. Now let's try some non-reading based questions. For example, if you wanted to find out more information about the crisis of biodiversity, which of the following resources would be best to use? A, the encyclopedia entry for biophilia. B, an online chat forum for environmentalists. C, the website for National Geographic magazine. Or D, a smartphone app that tracks ecological phenomena. The correct answer is C. You may be wondering why this is the correct answer. You have to take into account the credibility for each answer option and allow yourself to make decisions based on that. Now try with a follow-up question. If you were taking notes on the selection, which of the following details would be most important to include? A, other animal species besides human beings have a right to continue living on the planet. B, the planet can only sustain life if we work to sustain the planet in part through mindful living. C, environmental science professor David Orr defines biophilia as a love of life in all living things. Or D, the decline in biodiversity cannot be undone even with captive breeding programs and technological advances. If you selected answer option B, you're on the right track. This is because the decline in biodiversity is caused by the inability to sustain the life currently here on the planet. Taking notes on ways to increase mindful living and then increase knowledge and a better understanding of the problem at hand, synthesizing this information to other aspects of life. If you feel that you need additional resources to assist you in your efforts to prepare, the link for the VPT practice exam is in the description of this video. Keep in mind you will need to log in with your student credentials in order to complete the exam.